is a Tyrannosaurus Rex, a full-grown one, and she's currently at the minute sleeping. Let's let her rest. But just because your favorite dinosaur is down for the count at the moment doesn't mean you can't watch other spectacles of absolutely massive and beautiful dinosaurs, such as hadrosaurs, specifically these girls, Parasaurolophus. The Tyrannosaurus Rex is trying to hunt the Parasaurolophus. However, into the water, it's not worth it. So it runs by, acting like it wasn't even going to harm it in the first place. Tyrannosaurs are often like that. But then we got something in the background. Something massive. You may not be able to see it, but it's right there. This is a sauropod, specifically Brachiosaurus. She or he just seems to be next to the water, obviously to either have a drink or have a swim. But just because some animals are absolutely massive doesn't mean they don't take their fair share of rest so well. Turns out she's resting near the water, not straight inside. And I can understand why. Because in water sources, it's not... And even in some of the most calming of water sources, there's a certain fin-headed dinosaur that reigns supreme in there. These are called Spinosaurs. These mostly reside in the swampy areas of here, known as Lagoon and Meta. However, surprisingly, it seems like most of the Spinosaurs have somewhat moving out, and you can understand why, because of indirect competition. But just because this dynasty has ended in this lagoon doesn't mean that there aren't your fair share of other swimmers, such as the small ankylosaurs, such as these absolutely massive ankylosaurs. But, however, we now see someone who is coming back into the water. We are nothing but into the land now. We see an absolutely massive dinosaur, also known as Spinosaurus aegypticus. However, just because it's is mainly in Egypt doesn't mean it can't be in other ecosystems, such as right over here. Now, you can't see him, can you? Well, you may be able to see him if you have a good eye, if you have a 20/20 vision. But if you can't see him, don't worry. He's under the substrate somewhere. Speaking of which, here he is now. A full-grown Spinosaurus, at about 15 meters long and weighing more than a couple of cars. This is absolutely massive carnivore. But don't be fooled. These guys are mainly hunt fish. They don't randomly go for humans. Unlike Jurassic Park 3 or so on and so forth, they don't randomly attack humans, unlike most media has lied to you about. In fact, they'd rather have that salmon on your dinner plate. Now this is a monster. He's old, and you can tell it's a male by the lovely crest on on their heads. So, thank you for watching the first episode of the Dinosaurs Reign. Please have a